The lines were long at author Dan Buettner's book signing, held in front of the Randall Visitor Center. The book is called The Blue Zone and features the Adventist community right here in Loma Linda. In the following interview, Dan Buettner comments on the relationship between longevity and spirituality.
Now, the first I knew of your work was when I read the article in the National Geographic, when was it? November of 2005?
Yes.
And you were reporting on the findings on the 4 cultures of longevity that you found throughout the world, and Loma Linda was one of those.
Yes. What we found in all 4 blue zones were people who have a strong sense of purpose and who can articulate it. They're living, I think, significantly longer. We've been able to correlate religiosity with longevity. In other words, if you go to church or temple or mosque 4 times a month, you're among a population that lives 3 to 4 years longer than people who don't go to church. So pills don't work, but church going does, and that's been, you know,
that is interesting.
I'm not particularly religious myself, but you can't ignore the data, so to speak.
What we have here is a religious community, and aside from what you have, or already, in addition to what you've already said, how does the religious community prolong life?
Well, I think there are 3, possibly 4 explanations. When you take the time to belong to a spiritual community, and I think the Advent is particularly strong because it's a 24-hour weekly commitment.
Yes, it is.
A sanctuary in time. I love that. Randy Roberts coined that phrase, or he shared it with me anyway. We know that stress speeds up the aging process. It releases chemicals into the bloodstream that's hard on your joints, betters the chance of having cardiovascular disease and cancer. If you have this scheduled once a week, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's a day, where you're focusing on your God, or just slowing down and thinking about something other than the din and confusion of everyday life, focusing on your family, I think that's a particularly nice component of the Sabbath practice. Taking nature walks, hanging out with your friends. You're much less likely to engage in risky behaviors when you're part of a religious community. You have a social network around you that supports you both metaphorically and physically. And I think if you ask an Adventist if he or she prays for health, God will grant it. I mean, I think there's a certain power in that belief. It just all adds up to, you know, a significant bump in life expectancy and probably a higher quality of life.
Well, I hope many, many people get to read this book because obviously it's very important to us. Thank you so much for coming and talking with us today.
I salute your work, and I salute the lifestyle that the Adventists provide the rest of us to emulate. So thank you.
We hope you'll come back lots of times to Loma Linda.
I'd love to.